Hello, dear students. I am Niranjan Jha, a teacher of Mahatma Gandhi Shikshan Sansthan Darbhanga. This time I am going to teach the students of class 8. This is subject science. This is chapter 5. The name of this chapter is coal and petroleum. On this chapter, in previous video we have studied about formation of petroleum, or we can say origin of petroleum. We have discussed in detail how petroleum was formed, and we may remind it millions of years ago large number of aquatic plants and animals died, and finally they settled down and reached to the bottom of the sea. Then slowly that remains of plants, aquatic plants and animals covered by the mud and the sand. As time passes, the layer of mud and sand converted in the form of sedimentary rocks. Now under the sedimentary rocks, in the condition of high pressure, high temperature, in absence of air, the decomposition of that remains has started, and finally that all the remains converted into thick black liquid. That thick black and liquid is known as petroleum. Here we have to understand, we have to discuss refining of petroleum. Actually that petroleum is not a single compound. That is a mixture of large number of hydrocarbons. And hydrocarbons we have studied, compounds formed from hydrogen, carbon and oxygen is known as hydrocarbons. Clear? Compound formed from hydrogen, carbon and oxygen is known as hydrocarbons. This petroleum is a mixture of different types of hydrocarbons, or it contains different fractions, different constituents. Each fraction has different boiling point range. Here what happens? This petroleum contains different constituents, and each constituent has different boiling range. On the basis of this difference in boiling point, different constituents must be separated. These constituents are separated, and then each constituents are used separately for different works, for useful works. Then what is refining of petroleum? The process of separating of crude petroleum oil into more useful fractions is called refining of petroleum. What is refining of petroleum? The process of separating a crude petroleum oil, the process of separating of crude petroleum oil into more useful fractions is called refining of petroleum. And this is done by the fractional distillation. Which process is used for this purpose? Fractional distillation. Fractional distillation, by the process of fractional distillation. And this fractional distillation is done in a large column, long tower. This tower is known as fractionating column or fractionating tower. This fractional distillation is done in fractionating column or fractionating tower. This large column what we are seeing, this is known as fractionating column or fractionating tower. Now we have to understand what happens in refining of petroleum. Here this long tower is known as fractionating tower. Inside the fractionating tower it contains a large number of trays. These all are known as trays, and different trays are fitted at different heights. We are seeing clearly large number of trays are fitted at different heights. This is a furnace. First of all, crude oil is heated up to 400 degrees Celsius. This is a furnace where crude oil is first of all heated up to 400 degrees Celsius. When it is heated up to 400 degrees Celsius, then maximum amount of crude oil converted into vapor. Now this vapors enter into the fractionating column. Clear? This vapor enters into the fractionating column or in the fractionating tower. Vapor rises above, and when it comes up, this vapor rises above, there is a gapping, vapor comes here. What happens? Some fractions has boiling point below 400 degrees Celsius. Those fractions whose boiling point range lies between 350 to 400 degrees Celsius, that condenses, and when condenses take the form of liquid, and that is collected here. some fraction of the petroleum, crude petroleum collected here. Now, some fractions, all vapors not condense here. Some vapor condenses here, whose boiling point range is high, and remaining vapor again goes up. Clear? Remaining vapor again goes above, comes here in this area. Again vapor passes from this gapping. Vapor passes. Again, as vapor goes above, temperature becomes low. Cooling takes place. No heating is done. As the vapor goes above, slowly temperature becomes low and vapor condenses according to their boiling point range. First of all, some constituents has condenses at the near the bottom of the fractionating column, that was collected by separate channel. Remaining vapors comes above. Some vapor again condenses and change in the form of liquid. Here the vapors having boiling point range 250 to 350 degrees Celsius condenses, and these constituents also collected by separate channel. Again at the second stage, even at the second stage, all the vapors has not condenses. Some vapor condense and change into liquid, and remaining vapors again goes above. Clear? Remaining vapor goes above. These vapors again passes through these channels and comes in this area. As the vapor goes above, temperature becomes low. Vapor goes above and temperature becomes low. Temperature becomes low. Again, some vapor whose boiling range in between 170 degrees Celsius to 250 degrees Celsius here condenses and changed into form of liquid. This liquid is again collected from the separate channel. Now what happens? The temperature reaches up to this height. Temperature reaches up to 170 to 40 degrees Celsius. Some vapor again comes out. Maximum vapor has condensed at different places, and some vapor has not condensed still. Those vapors which has not condensed, which has not changed in the form of liquid, that vapor again comes above. That vapor will come above. And at the last stage, what happens? A maximum amount of vapor condensed for change in the form of liquid, and that is collected at this stage. At the top of the fractionating column, what we are seeing, some vapor has not still condenses. At the top of the fractionating tower, the temperature is below 40 degrees Celsius, and still at this low temperature, some vapors are in the form of vapor. They have not condensed. This vapor is collected from the top of the fractionating column. Now what happens? What we have done? First of all, crude oil has taken in the furnace. Crude oil has heated up to 400 degrees Celsius. Then it entered in at the bottom of the fractionating column. Vapor rises up. As vapor goes above, temperature becomes low and slowly vapor condenses. Some amount of vapor whose boiling point range lies between 350 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius, that condenses, change in the form of liquid, and this liquid has collected by separate channel. Again remaining vapor goes above. Remaining vapor goes above, and again some portion of vapor at the second stage, as temperature becomes low, some portion of vapor condenses here, change in the form of liquid, and that also collected by a separate channel. Again, what we are discussing, all vapors has not condensed. Remaining vapor again goes above, and some portion of vapor between the having the boiling point range between 170 degrees Celsius to 250 degrees Celsius condenses here and collected with a separate channel. At the last stage, some vapor has again condenses. Temperature is very low here. Temperature lies at this stage. Temperature lies between 40 degrees Celsius to 170 degrees Celsius. Some portion of vapor here condenses, and that liquid again is collected with a separate channel. At the top of the fractionating column, what happens? Some amount of vapor has not condensed. That vapor has collected separately by a separate channel. Now, some amount of crude petroleum has not change in the form of vapor. These are that part of crude petroleum oil which has not converted in the form of vapor even at 400 degrees Celsius, and that collected through the bottom of the fractionating column. This is known as residual oil. This portion is known as residual oil. Okay. Now, first of all, first component is fuel oil. Fuel oil is the first component, first fraction, having boiling point range between 350 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius. Fuel oil is used in the industry. What are the uses of fuel oil? It is used in industries in the furnace or boiler. In the furnace or industries, furnace or boilers. In boilers, fuel oil is used. Second component is diesel oil. Diesel oil having boiling point range between 250 to 350 degrees Celsius. Diesel oil is used in trucks, buses and heavy vehicles. Truck, vessels, ships, buses, ships and railway engine, and also in the railway engine and other heavy engine. These are the uses of diesel oil. Third is the kerosene oil. Kerosene oil is used as a household fuel. It is used as I shall write uses of different fractions separately. Kerosene oil is used as a household fuel. This is used as a household fuel in the wick stove or pressure stove. And for petromaxolite also, kerosene oil is also used in petromaxolite for lightning work. Second stage is gasoline. Gasoline is also known as petrol. This gasoline or petrol is used as a fuel in motorcycles, scooters or light vehicles. Mainly gasoline or petrol is used as a fuel in the light vehicles, and here diesel oil is used in the heavy vehicles. The last component which is obtained in the gaseous form, that is the petroleum gas. This gas is known as petroleum gas. When this petroleum gas is filled in a cylinder, then under pressure it converted in the liquid form, that is known as LPG. This petroleum gas is also known as LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. That LPG which we use in our house as a domestic fuel, that is the petroleum gas. Dear students, we use two types of gaseous fuel mainly. One is the natural gas. Natural gas, when we obtain petroleum from the oil well, then before coming the oil, natural gas comes. That gas is known as that gas which directly comes from oil well. That is known as natural gas. And when this natural gas is compressed into a cylinder, then it is known as compressed natural gas, CNG. A very common word, very common fuel, CNG. It is a clean fuel. Compressed natural gas. The same natural gas is filled in a cylinder under pressure, so it is known as compressed natural gas. And here the petroleum gas. This petroleum gas is filled in a cylinder. When this petroleum gas is filled in a cylinder under pressure, then under pressure it changes in the liquid. So it is known as liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. The full form of LPG is liquefied petroleum gas, CNG and LPG. Okay. Now in the next video we shall discuss again usage of different components, and then we shall start new topics. Thanks.